Okay, picture this. You open your phone and instantly get hit with noise, birthday posts, selfies, endless coffee cups, vacation sunsets, and motivational captions. It feels like everyone's broadcasting their lives 24/7. But then, there's that one person who never posts. They scroll quietly. They see everything, but you barely ever see them. Maybe you even are that person. And it makes you wonder, why stay invisible when everyone else is shouting to be seen? Here's the thing. Silence in the digital age isn't emptiness. It's power. It's the choice to hold something back, to decide what stays yours. Because whether we like it or not, social media has rewired how we define ourselves. It rewards noise and performance. But some people, those who stay quiet, see through it all. They don't crave applause. They crave authenticity. And the truth, most people who stop posting aren't disconnected. They're detoxing. They're stepping away from the dopamine trap of likes and hearts. They're done performing happiness just to be believed. They're not running from the world. They're reclaiming it. But hold up, because what happens after they unplug might surprise you. Here's where it gets really interesting. Psychologists say people who post less often actually score higher on self-restraint, introspection, and emotional independence. That means they're less driven by outside validation and more grounded in who they really are. They're not trying to prove their worth, they're trying to understand it. And that hits different in a world obsessed with visibility. See, when you stop performing online, something shifts inside you. You start living moments for yourself again, not for a camera or an audience. You laugh without thinking of captions. You travel without tagging every location. You experience life without feeling the need to package it. And that's rare now because most of us have forgotten what that even feels like. For some people, silence online isn't about hiding. It's about healing. It's the quiet rebellion against a culture that tells us, if you didn't post it, it didn't happen. They know that's a lie. They know meaning doesn't need witnesses. And when they choose to disappear from the feed, it's not sadness. It's freedom. But wait, because the story doesn't stop there. Not everyone's silence comes from peace. Some disappear for a completely different reason. Here's the flip side. Sometimes, that quiet isn't peace, it's pressure. Social media can make people feel like they're under a spotlight 24/7. Every post becomes a risk. Will this be judged, ignored, misunderstood? That constant awareness, that feeling of being watched is what psychologists call self-presentational pressure. And for a lot of people, it's exhausting. So they retreat, not because they don't want to connect, but because connection started to feel like performance. They're scared of saying the wrong thing, or not saying it perfectly enough. They scroll through everyone else's highlight reels and start feeling smaller, like they're falling behind in some invisible race. And instead of pretending, they choose quiet. It's not weakness. It's self-protection. Ironically, those quiet people online, they're often the ones with the loudest minds. They feel everything deeply. They think before reacting. They listen when everyone else is shouting. And that stillness, that's where real awareness begins. Because in a world obsessed with exposure, invisibility becomes a kind of superpower. But here's where it gets even deeper. Silence doesn't just protect you, it transforms you. Here's where it hits home. When someone steps back from social media, life starts to feel real again. Colors look richer. Time slows down. Conversations get deeper. You're not thinking about lighting or angles. You're actually there, fully present. Because when you stop performing, you start experiencing. And that's the quiet beauty most people overlook. See, every time we post, our brains release dopamine, the same chemical tied to addiction. That's why validation feels so good, but it's also why it keeps us hooked. So when someone resists that cycle, it's not indifference, it's discipline. It's the decision to find worth within instead of chasing it online. Studies even show that people who take long breaks from social media report higher emotional stability and life satisfaction. Why? Because their identity stops being something they edit. It becomes something they own. No filters, no performance, no audience, just them. And maybe that's the real rebellion today, to stay whole in a world that rewards fragments, to choose peace over proof. But here's the twist. Silence isn't just personal. It changes how we connect with others too. Here's the part nobody talks about. When you stop posting, your relationships shift. You start seeing who actually checks in without needing reminders, who remembers you without notifications. And that kind of connection? It hits different. It's real, raw, and warm in a way no comment section could ever be. Because social media gave us visibility, but it stole intimacy. It made us feel close to everyone and deeply connected to no one. But when you step away from the feed, you start rebuilding closeness the old school way. Through presence, through moments that don't need proof, through laughter that doesn't need an audience. And those people who live quietly, they build lives that don't need applause. They find meaning in the unshared moment, joy in being rather than showing. Their silence isn't loneliness, it's clarity. They've remembered something the rest of us forgot, that being unseen doesn't mean being alone, it means being whole. But stay with me, because this final part ties it all together. Here's where it all comes full circle. In a world that screams, "Look at me," the people who choose silence are making the boldest statement of all. I exist beyond your perception. They've learned that not every moment needs an audience, not every thought needs a caption. Some things, love, growth, heartbreak, peace, are too sacred to share. And that's the paradox. The quiet ones often feel life most intensely. They're present. They see details others miss, the way light hits a wall, the pause before someone speaks. They're not detached, they're deeply tuned in. Their silence isn't emptiness, it's depth. It's confidence that doesn't need to shout. Because real confidence isn't loud, it's steady. It's knowing who you are when nobody's watching. And that's what the people who don't post understand better than anyone. They remind us that not everything meaningful needs witnesses, that sometimes the most human thing you can do is keep something entirely for yourself. So, yeah, maybe their silence isn't a flaw. Maybe it's a mirror, reflecting what we've lost in all the noise.